already. As typical, people will be joining on as we go. For a reminder for everyone that is listening, there is a chat feature. If you take your mouse and you go towards the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little bubble that says chat. If you click on that, if you have a question, feel free to obviously type it in there. Or if you hear something in the conversation, then that maybe is like an aha moment, go ahead and type that in as well, as a lot of times that'll echo for the rest of the group, or maybe even just anchor that learning lesson for you. So with that being said, our guest this morning is Kathy Byrnes, coming from North Carolina. Welcome, Kathy. How are you?
Thank you. Wonderful. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, we had a great conversation on Friday, so I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to interview you. We had a few things in common, we've both been in the business a little bit. So how long have you been in real estate now?
I actually just looked at my license the other day. I've been telling everybody I got in 2005, but I got in 2006. Okay. Surprised myself.
All right, there you go. So perfect time to get into real estate, right as it peaked.
Right.
So you got to ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
So tell us a very brief background about yourself. Let's get everybody familiar with who you are, Kathy.
Okay. So in 2005, I moved from Michigan to North Carolina and did a complete makeover of my life. I was broke. I knew one person in North Carolina, my daughter, who actually took me in to support me. And I had 23-year background in estate planning, and I thought I could use those tools somehow. And family was in real estate all my life, and so not as an agent locally, but more developers and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe that's what I'll do.
Okay, great. So from estate planning with a background in family real estate development, right into being a real estate agent.
Right.
So, we had a couple of good topics when we talked on Friday, and I'm going to kind of open it up to see where you want to start. Typically everybody has a thing that they lean on as far as how their business operates or their approach to the business, and also recommendations that they would make to other people that are in the industry. So what would you like to start with?
Well, the first thing I did when I moved to North Carolina, it's on a lake here. My daughter lived by the lake, and I'm from Michigan, so I'm a water person, always been around the lake. So I thought, when I get into real estate, I'm going to focus in on the water. That's something I love. And because of my background in estate planning, I was a single mom when I did that. So for me, I always knew you had to focus in on whatever your target market was to figure out what's the best return for me and discipline myself to go after that. So the big thing was, I believe in treating it like a business. It is a business. It's not a hobby for me. I was at zero, so I had to go from zero to support myself so my daughter could have a break. And so I wanted to focus in on waterfront. So I think it's important for people to stay local. Instead of driving all over, time is important. So many aspects of running a business. It needs to be efficient.
So I like that opening. You're new to the industry, you're new to the area, and you come up with this concept of, this isn't really a hobby, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to make some money. So that framework of treat this every day like it's a business.
Right.
And one of the things I heard you say there is, number one, you focused on an area of something you like yourself, which is mm-hmm. the lake, waterfront, that type of feeling is something that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. So do you find that kind of recharges your energy a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it did. I wanted to like what I was doing, and I knew I'd be charged on that. And, the market was climbing in 2006, and my background in analyzing stuff, I started to do an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm like, what's happening here? How can these jump so much every month? It didn't make any sense, right? So I'm charting it and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, something seems off here, but I'm jumping in. I also targeted what was actually, I thought, really moving, because there's a niche here. You've got $1 million plus homes in our area, but everybody was chasing the $1 million ones like that was the big commission. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not the sweet spot. Where's the sweet spot? And so I looked between 5 and 9, and that was my target. That was my target market. I liked the water, but I knew the water here it's a man-made lake. It's not like lakes in Michigan that I'm used to. So there were a lot of rules and regulations on this. So I knew I needed to learn the territory inside and out.
So a couple things. One, I don't know if you saw it, but Cody was celebrating because he is a spreadsheet junkie as well. So any conversation that starts with spreadsheet, you have Cody's attention. So yeah. The second thing that I heard was that you actually, you kind of slowed down to figure out the market and the niche that you wanted to serve. And then you talked about being an expert. Mm-hmm. That's what I heard. So when you talk about understanding what the rules and everything were involved with, having lakefront property, what you can do on the lake and everything else. So, you take the time to, number one, treat it like a business. Number two, become an expert in your area. And three, now you're targeting an area that I'll use your word, the sweet spot in the market. So I'm assuming these properties, do they tend to sell a little faster than maybe the much, much higher end properties?
Absolutely. And even though in 2006 and 7, the $1 million ones were flying out the door too, the 5 to 9, those were a lot of second homes for people. Mm-hmm. And first time buys. But what I saw was that was a more affordable niche. So a larger pool was buying in that price point. And so I don't want to go where I have a smaller chance of success. I want a bigger chance of success. When I was with Remax I started with Coldwell Banker and went to Remax. So, I was paying large splits. So I'm calculating my numbers of what's my net. So I'm always like on the spreadsheet, I need to know my breakdown of what am I actually making here for that. And as I moved over to Remax, I got a partner. So now I got a split with the company and a split with a partner. And I'm looking at my bottom line and how do I ever get ahead?
Thank goodness for EXP.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn Sanford, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we talked about in terms of that niche is you just mentioned again that there's a wider availability of buyers and wider availability of sellers. So a higher probability of being success. What were and what are some of the things you even do today to generate business for yourself, whether that be listings or buyers?
Well, in the beginning, the market, took off. It was great. I started to get established, and then the market crashed. And so then I had to reinvent myself. And back then I was at Remax, and Dave Liniger, the president, founder of Remax, he had people get into short sales. So I became a short sale expert and really focused on that. So that was off water for me. So now I'm switching gears because the market changes. You got to be a chameleon and switch with it. So many agents got out of the business. That was non-negotiable for me. I'm just figuring it out. That's all there is to it. So one of the things I did way back then was I had send out cards because for me, I'm a relationship person. So I got to connect with you some way and stay connected. So if you don't know what they are, they're cards that you can create online and send to the mail, and you can personalize them a lot. So people will open them instead of an email or instead of a letter or a postcard. I'm trying to get to the hardest stuff as fast as I can with people so that they trust me and want to work with me. And that was a good tool for me. It still is. I use it a lot today. And I use Facebook in harmony with that. So like I connect with just about everybody I possibly can on Facebook that knows me already. I'm liking and loving stuff, wishing them happy birthday and that. And then I will go into Facebook Messenger and say, hey, I'm updating my contacts here. Could you give me your current address? Almost 99% of the time they give me their home address. And if sometimes they'll say, what do you need it for? And I say, I'm sending you something special, and boom, I got the address.
Nice.
And I do. So now I got the address and I'll send a card because maybe I saw on Facebook that their son just won a trophy for something. I'm grabbing that picture of that son and the parents all excited about that boy or girl. I'm putting that on the front of that Facebook card. Sorry, I talk with my hands, so they may pop up all over.
I'm Italian.
So I put that on the card, and on the inside, I'll say, we just don't capture our pictures anymore. I thought you might enjoy this. There's no branding on the back. They know me typically, and I'll have Kathy on there, but I'm not branding it. I'll have a saying on the back like sharing is caring, something like that. And what'll happen is they'll be blown away, number one, that they got it. A lot of times they frame them. Or they'll post it on Facebook, which is really what I'd love for them to do, and say, look what I got in the mail today from Kathy Byrnes. She's the greatest. That's right. That's what I'm looking for.
That's outstanding. And so when they do that, it takes that sharing is caring and puts it on steroids, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it puts it out to everybody. Oh, that is awesome. So relationship marketing. So if we go back through, you were new, studying the market, learning it, getting comfortable, doing pretty good, market collapses. You, like many of us that went through that time period, obviously had to adapt, short sales. Now the market's gone back to much more of a traditional market.
Right.
There's a lot of real estate agents out there that spend a lot of money to get leads. And yet what you're saying is you're taking the time to really focus in on the relationships that you have.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you stalk them on Facebook, you find good stuff, right? There's
Yep.
nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And you're sending them a card. Are you doing anything else with the people that you know as far as relationships go?
So, like all my sold buyers, they're on a drip campaign of 5 cards. And so the first one, I don't buy closing gifts anymore. I donate to a charity in their name, a local charity in their name. I don't tell them how much, but the card is designed to show that charity in there. And I say, I just want to thank you so much basically for allowing me to help you find this property. I wanted to let you know that I did a donation in your name to this particular charity that helps challenge teens in the area get a step up in life. And, here's the information on the charity, thought you might enjoy it. If they're not that kind of people, I'm not sending that card. But most people are, they like the thought of that. So then I do a donation to the charity. Then about 3 months later, another card goes out and it says, I got a guy and on the inside and a gal too. And I say, I know you got things going on around that house that you need vendors for. I said, I got a laundry list. You tell me what you need, because I want to be in front of them well after the sale. Right? So then I'm saying, reach out to me. I don't care if it's house related, you need an attorney, you name it, whatever you need, I'm here for you. So reach out to me. And that card, I try and do that like every 6 months to people to remind them, because that's a powerful card. But then, and that's everybody, whether they've been a buyer, I'm trying to stay in front of people just to remind them, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. I got a guy. I'm your guy. So then another, I think I'm 6 months in, it's like, hey, can you believe it's been 6 months? I'd love to see pictures of the house, post them on Facebook, shoot me a text, love to connect, just staying connected. 9 months in, I think I'm sending them one with a cup of coffee on it. Hey, we haven't talked in ages. Love to sit down. Coffee's on me. Let's get together. Year in, it's happy anniversary, loving all this. I'm not soliciting business in there. I'm just staying connected. Now, all those cards are branded on the back because I want to keep them connected now that's me. On their birthdays, on their anniversaries, they get separate cards. So they're getting cards from me. They love the cards. If I see something happen on Facebook, they got a card. I'm the card lady for them, and I'm in their face and on Facebook.
So what I love, I absolutely love this concept of I've got a guy, because you're continuing the relationship of the sale. The typical agent, if they do a really good job, will send a closing gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably call them and thank them, and probably reach out a couple weeks later. But here you are 3 months later when they're about to get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got a million little things that they figured out around the house. They maybe finally have gotten unpacked, all that kind of stuff. And yet then here you go, you show up with I've got a guy. And I got to believe that people absolutely they've got to be responding very strongly to that.
They do. I get calls all the time say, hey, Kath, I know you know people who can help me with this, or I know people I could trust, because that's what I'm also trying to do. I don't just have any guy. It's like I got the guy for you. And if I don't have him, I got the guy who'll tell me who's got the guy. So I'm connected, basically. I'm a connector. And I want them to believe it.
And so do you see as a result that, your relationship with your past clients and do they seem to have like a deeper connection than they did maybe when you go back to earlier in your career,
Oh, yes. I'm 15 years in now. Am I? Yeah, 14 years in. And almost all my business is referral or repeat business. I've got one that I'm on their 13th transaction with them, which I love because they're waterfront buyers. They're my favorites. And they wouldn't think of going with anybody else, because when you're in that process too, they're not just a number to me. Things pop up with inspections or whatever. And my job to them, and that I let them know, is, listen, you're always the boss. You get to make all the decisions. I'm your guide through the process. And when we've got issues, I'm going to do everything I can to come up with the solutions that's in a win-win scenario for all parties, because I don't want enemies on the other side for you or for me. We're going to figure this out. And I've prepped my clients too, so that they know ahead of time. I've laid out like what to expect. I've laid out, on our team, on the LePage Johnson team, we have a concierge and we have a closing coordinator who work in harmony with us and really create a really smooth transaction for our clients. But even though we've got those people, I'm their main contact. And they know they can reach me, text me, and I'm going to be there to help them through the whole process. And so there's a trust that happens and a confidence that if I got to solve something, I'm like a junkyard dog. I'm going after it and I'm going to make it happen. And I'm known affectionately as a junkyard dog because I am extremely tenacious to get things resolved.
I have no doubt. You have spreadsheet ability, and you're not afraid to kick some ass, is what I'm hearing.
That's exactly right. I love it. Either love me or hate me. I don't know.
Well, so far I love you. Okay, you're doing good. All right, so you shared with me something that I'm 51 years old, and they talk about the different phases of life. We've got some people on this call that are in their 20s, right? They're excited, full of energy. They couldn't even imagine what it's like to be 50 or 60 or 70 or whatever age, up there. We've got people in their 30s. We've got families, people with, kids, the prime life. We got people as they're moving along in their career. We were all told this. At some point, you're going to start thinking about when you're done working, or when you no longer have to go to work to pay for things. And you shared with me that moving over to EXP had kind of given you, I think the word you used was hope. Is that right?
That's right. That is my word.
So tell me a little bit about what hit you with moving over.
Okay. Well, right before, I was 55 when I got into real estate, right? So I'm starting really late in the game and I'm broke. So I'm at all these different companies and I'm building my business and I'm working hard and I'm making good money, but I'm always playing catch up. I can't ever seem to get ahead. There's no pot that I'm able to build. And I moved over to the LePage Johnson team. I'd been switching different companies around, and I'd never heard of EXP, but LePage was still at KW at the time. And 2 weeks after I moved on to their team, they say, we're going to EXP. I go, what the heck? I don't know anything that's happening anymore. I'm just going. I don't care. You figured it out. I'm going. So when they go, though, I said, well, I better probably take a look at this company and check it out. Now I'm here, whatever. I just couldn't imagine that it could be that great, but
Right.
they were excited. And so now I'm analyzing, because my background was stock, I'm looking at the stock and I'm like, wait, I think I love that. I'm loving it. And you're going to let me take 5% of my commission and give me a discounted buy on that. And it's liquid. So I can start to build a savings plan that I don't have. Okay, I like that. Then you tell me you're going to award me for doing things I'm already doing, like my first transaction, and I'd already introduced agents to the companies I've been with before, and you're saying I'm going to get money when they come over, and you could pay me when they bring people over. I'm like, what? I think I love this. And then I just love the collaboration. And so I went from like, oh my gosh, I could actually have an end game. Could that be true? The hope could be fulfilled. And it's been that. It's been that. And matter of fact, 2 years ago, I was in Mexico at Puerto Vallarta with the group with EXP, and I had broken my shoulder. I had a black eye. I was all beat up, and I was like, I grabbed this agent, and I said, I want you to interview me right now. Craig, get the camera, ask me these questions. And I said, what EXP did for me was give me hope, because I saw no end game living in my daughter's backyard in a shed. That's how I was seeing my future. And she taking care of me. And because I'm 69 right now, and I'm just like, I got to be able to stop at some point, at least stop the way I want to stop, because I want to mentor and teach, because that rocks my world. So let me do it on my way of doing it. Let's build up a residual income. And EXP, so grateful.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
That's my favorite part so far, where she goes, so then I was like, what?
So, this is the part of the conversation that, I mean, for me, a lot of agents, like, they kind of miss it. And I think you put it so well that, and, as we get, more mature in life, more life experience, and realizing that, hey, selling homes is a good income. You can make a good living at it. However, if you're going to build wealth, if you're going to build a exit strategy from the business, typically the old way was buy rental property.
Right.
And, a lot of us have rental property. I've got rental properties. They're great when everybody pays on time and nothing breaks, right? Where what you're talking about is you have the opportunity to do what you already do and still earn money. That is awesome. And by the way, we've got somebody in the chat that just put, can I say you look amazing at 69? So, yeah.
Love you.
You have fans. Well, I think a lot of it is your energy. You don't have the energy of a 69-year-old. You have the energy of somebody's like probably 29 bouncing around over there. So, all right. So I'm looking at our time. We still got a good amount of time available. That was, for me, that was a very valuable share on your part. And for everybody that's on this call, if you're not taking advantage of buying the stock at a discount and stocking that away, we've all seen companies go from startup to massive. There's no indication that EXP will do anything but that. This company is growth. You might as well take a little bit of your money that you should be putting away anyway, and park it in the company you believe in. So what else would you share? We've got a wide variety of people on teams, individuals, couples, new, experienced. What else would you like to share?
Well, I'm on a team, and I had a lot of people say to me, why did you go from having your own team to be on somebody's team? So I get so much value from my team. LePage Johnson is amazing. And one of the things that they've done with the rev share that they've earned is they invested back into people on the team that can take us to a whole nother level. I get to collaborate with them like as if I feel like I'm one of the owners. That's how they treat me. So it's great. And Craig's into marketing. Marketing is a real passion of mine. I love it. That's a piece of mine. But what I would, for me, it's my stage of the game. I can take all the headache of running a team off my plate and just be part of one. My nets is still beautiful because of EXP and the collaboration I get. That works for me. It's not good for everybody, but the collaboration that goes on with EXP through workplace and the scenarios that we've got available at our fingertips makes it so frigging powerful to learn. You can go on Workplace in water cooler, which is one of my favorites, and just say, hey, I don't know what to do about this. And boom, I got answers from all over the country. It's like, what? That was amazing. And, I'll have someone say, well, I don't know what to do about this. And, I'm in North Carolina. Where should I go? I go, you need to be in Workplace on a regular friggin' basis because it is so strong. Love Workplace. And then what about iBuyers? Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with iBuyers. I can hardly stand it. It just came to our state. I'm off the charts. I can't wait to learn so I can teach. And then they can just all be little bunnies out there just populating and making this happen and making money.
I love it. That is awesome. Well, I think, we sometimes will overlook all the tools at our disposal. And I love the way you say that to the other agents in your marketplace. If you're not on Workplace, man, you're really missing it. So that is absolutely outstanding. And then, for us, we're all the way across the country and we get an opportunity to work with somebody like you today. And, I've written down that I've got a guy. That card is going in, and I use send out cards as well. That card is going in my repertoire for sure.
Good.
It's just a no-brainer. So
yeah.
And I'm going to send it to the buyers who have purchased my listings as well, not just my own buyers.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, because 3 months after, 6 months after, they forgot who their realtor was anyway. Oh, you're writing that one down, huh?
Love it.
Good. All right, well, we've got a couple minutes left. Cody, we'll do a quick little wrap up of what we've got going on this week. Kathy, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hang on just a second. We'll do a formal farewell. Cody, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know we hit a pretty cool milestone today. With today's participants, we've had 503 total for the Power 30 calls now. So we've now had over 500 participants on these calls since we started them. Pretty cool. We have a lunch and learn today at noon. Everyone needs to remember that we've got the summit on February 20th. You don't want to miss that. Joe, what else did I list out here? We've got
Matt has an event.
Yep, Matt every week. Matt, are you on? You want to just give us quickly what that event is all about that you do, your AA meetings? He may not be on anymore.
I think he's in his vehicle on his way to the AA meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be at IKEA at 10 o'clock. And AA stands for Agent Accountability. So it's an opportunity for us to get together and chat about, and hold each other accountable for the efforts that we put in the week before.
That was 10 a.m. at IKEA, Agent Accountability.
Love it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks for that, Steve. And then last thing I'll mention is that you'll see that we've put together a plan for some themed Facebook posts each day. So be watching for a video explaining that. That'll come out hopefully later today. And be watching our Synergy Community Facebook page because we've got some really inspiring and good content that'll be coming out on a daily basis there.
Wonderful. Kind of a little shot in the arm each day.
Yeah.
All right, Kathy, I'm going to bring it back to you for the big close. What kind of farewell, parting words, advice, what would you leave this audience with?
I would say focus, discipline, time management, specialize, and be true to yourself and to your clients.
Be true to yourself and your clients. That's that one really resonates. That, a lot of times we get caught up in the hustle of this game. Anytime you're working outside of your own truths or the truths that you need to follow, such as the ones for following your clients, that's where you're going to have some discord within you, and the business isn't going to be as joyful. So that's really good.
Thank you.
Well, Kathy, I got a full notepad worth of notes here, so I appreciate that. I'm going to be running in and making some changes to my send out cards campaign.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you either out here, or I don't know if you're going down to Orlando. Cody and I will be down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be there.
So we'll see you at the shareholders meeting in Orlando.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers.